This is The Ball Don't Lie. I'm here with Anton Ferdinand, a special guest, and my co-host I should say, Frank Newblay.
Yes, Anton, my boy.
What's going on, man? How you doing, man?
Yes, man.
Yes, see?
Nice to see you, man. Nice to
You
see
too,
bro.
man.
England call up. Sounds like something that could be something that could happen to you in your career.
I was close, to be fair, to the German. Is it the 2006 Germany World Cup? Just after the FA Cup final, the squad, the 23 or the 30-man squad got announced, and I wasn't a part of it. But I had played in the FA Cup final with a hernia injury, and I'd been playing for the last 3 months of the season with a hernia. Doctors at West Ham wanted me to get it done, but I was saying wait for the England squad to be announced because I had a good year. The first year in the Premier League, I had a good year. I was on fire, to be fair. And it come out that I weren't in it, so I had a double hernia operation. I got a phone call from Sven Eriksson asking me to meet up with the squad because one of the defenders had gone lame. And I just had the op, so I couldn't go, and I was devastated. And he said, okay, the England doctor will speak to the West Ham doctors and we'll see if you can come in at some point. About 3-4 days later, I got a phone call from Sven again, and he said, listen, it ain't going to be able to happen. He went, I'm gutted. Really, I should have put you in the squad from the start. And I was literally come off the phone and cried my eyes out, man. Like,
I was gonna say that, like, obviously people look at us like just footballers, get called up, don't get called up, don't matter, you go on holiday, things move on. But that must have been a boiled dream, like, for you playing for England. Obviously your brother's doing well as well at the time. But for you to be even in the question of playing for England, not saying you didn't have the ability to or whatever, that's massive.
mm-hmm.
That's massive. A boy from Peckham.
No, do you know what? My mum, my dad, my granddad, my mum's dad, my granddad, I wanted to play for England, not just for myself, but for them.
Yeah.
You know, to see, especially my mum and dad, see their two sons play together for England and be in an England squad together. I mean, my granddad got buried in my brother's first England suit. Right. My brother gave it to him and got it tailored down to his sides, and he wore it everywhere. Yeah. And he got buried in it. That's what he wanted to be buried in. I went a bit off the rails, done some stupid stuff on holiday.
I was gonna say, would you say that was your lowest point in your career, or definitely up there with one of the lowest?
It's one of the lowest points I've had in my career, 100%. Like I say, like it sent me to a place that summer where it was like, listen, I need to try and get rid of this hurt before I go back to West Ham. You know, and I've done some stupid stuff.
The FA Cup final, you mentioned that there. What was it like playing the FA Cup final?
Do you know what? Playing an FA Cup final.
Talk us through the whole run.
The whole run?
FA Cup run. Short summary. Because to play in a final, that's a massive achievement.
Do you know what's mad? Do you know what? I sit here today, yeah, and I swear, when I look at it and I go, do you know what? There's some top ballers, you know, that have played in the English Premier League that have never played an FA Cup final. And I can sit here and say that I have done. You know, and in all honesty, I felt more pressure the year before in the playoff final than I did playing in the FA Cup final, if I'm honest. But the build-up to the FA Cup final is probably the best build-up to a game I've ever been involved in. I'm talking 2 weeks of press, you know, where you're talking to ESPN, for instance, and I'm talking, and then the next day I'm going to ESPN and I'm going to the head of PR at West Ham, head of press. I'm going like, I've spoken to him already, and she's going to me, that was ESPN USA, now you've got to do ESPN Australia. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, and it's starting to come to me that this game is massive. It's getting watched all over the world. That morning I woke up, I was all right the night before, but that morning I woke up and like, nerves just hit me. I was like, like, what's going on? Then I found myself having to force feed myself at pre-match because I felt like I need to be sick. And then I was like, right, this is different.
Do you remember the pre-match you had for that game?
It's standard what I have, bolognese, man.
Okay.
Bolognese, bit of chicken and bolognese, man. No cheese. I was like, this is different for me. Like, this seems different. I'm nervous. Like, I never get like this. What's going on? And I was starting to panic a little bit. And then the conversation I had with Rio the previous year before the playoff game, and then the week leading up to the FA Cup final, the conversation I had with him, I just started going over it. And there's a few things he said to me, but one stood out. He went, Anton, play the game, not the occasion. Because if you play the occasion, it becomes too big for you. If you play the game, it stays a game to you. And kid you not, within about 15 minutes, I was all right. And then got onto the bus. We're on the bus and we're watching Any Given Sunday. You know the speech on Any Given Sunday. Alan Pardew put it on, and like, I was pumped for the game. I was like, yes, come on, FA Cup final. Boom, let's go. Then a few more jitters come again. Then we got into the. I walked into the dressing room. Everything. See my shirt, 5 Ferdinand. Look straight to the patches on the shoulders. FA Cup patch on the shoulders. Like, yes. Turn it around. Saw the West Ham Liverpool final and everything. Looked at that, then seeing like tracksuits that were personalised and stuff with the FA Cup final on it, and I was like, right, this is it, man. This is what man's dreamt of. Like, this is mad. Yeah. Then the nerves come again. Walked down the tunnel, and the tunnel's quite long. Walked down the tunnel, walked out onto the pitch, and just went bang. And I was like, this is what I worked hard for, man. This is amazing. Like, boom, and then the nerves went again. And I never got nervous again after that. I'm representing my friends and my family here. My friends from Peckham, I'm representing them here. I can't let them down. You know, that's how I felt. And I carried that pressure everywhere I went. Every game I played, and I carried that pressure. I was representing Peckham. I was representing my brethren from Peckham.
Even just hearing that, like, it gets me excited. Do you know what I mean? Even though I don't get that feeling when I wake up, you know, thinking about the defenders who've got to defend me in League Two. When me and Theo, obviously, we first met you, I'll say first, when we were all together at
Southend.
I got an instant feeling of, this is my big brother. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, you've not heard me say that to you before.
No, it's nice to hear though.
But that's the feeling I got. So obviously, Skipper. No, Skipper, obviously coming from ends as well. You know, South London boy as well, myself, South East London, Lewisham boy.
Guildford, isn't it?
Just on the record, he's claiming it, by the way.
It's from Guildford,
But no, obviously for me, it was like, no, this is Anton. You're Anton to me. Do you know what I mean? Someone that a lot of people looked up to from my era. So now being teammates at that time was a big thing for me. So I wanted to enjoy that experience, but obviously showcase what I could do for the team at that time. But what were your first impressions of us two when you saw us come in the building?
Well, as a player, I didn't care what people thought about me. As long as they said, you know what, Anton's a good player, they could say, oh, Anton's a see you next Tuesday, or he's a Moni this and he's that. But as long as they said Anton's a good player, I didn't care. That's how I was. But I'd grown up in an environment where you help people. And that's never left me. You know, so when I saw you guys, like, I know, Theo, you used to think I moaned at you enough. I know you used to think that, and you probably still do. But that was my way of saying, you know what? I see.
Late doors.
But that's my way of, like, that's my way of showing you that I actually care about you. Because if I didn't think you was a good player, I wouldn't say nothing to you. Like, so you see me, players that were there, I didn't even chat to, because it's like, why am I chatting? You're not benefiting the team, you're not benefiting me. What am I chatting to you for? Do you know what I mean? I incorporated everyone as the captain in things we were doing, but and I spoke to them within the football club and stuff. But outside the football club, I didn't chat to people that weren't gonna elevate me to a next level or weren't on my wavelength of work ethic and stuff. I didn't chat to them. I didn't have time for them, if I'm honest. You know what I mean?
Our group were full of characters.
They was.
Good times, man.
It was. Listen.
That was character.
That change room, was one of my favourite change rooms.
I can't lie.
You know,
it was good, man. It was good, man. We could keep talking about it.
Yeah, you've had 20 clubs, so
But no, that changing was, I really enjoyed that change.
That changing was good. But you see what? Going back to what you was asking me about my impressions of you two, my impression of you two were guys who just loved football, if I'm honest. You know, guys who just loved football, who wanted to do well. And any part that I could play in helping you enjoy your football and do well, I wanted to be a part of it.
I remember coming to you once, we were playing two-touch and Theo was
getting involved too much.
You're stitching, You're stitchers, Little stitching. Oh, admission, stitching.
In that little gym.
Hey, the two-touch. To be fair, you weren't the best either.
Giving him the big licks,
Hey,
innit?
you weren't the
Giving him
best.
the big licks.
Hey.
I've got videos, bro.
Yeah.
Hey,
Bring
you
them.
weren't the
Brick,
best,
show them.
bro.
Right, Anton on this touch, right? He control it outside of his boot and call it the
Helicopter.
Helicopter,
Yeah.
bang.
That annoyed me so
Hey.
much, bro. And then he was zinging.
But it was always lovely though. Helicopter,
Yeah,
boom.
it was nice, to be fair. It was
No, but on a serious note, you wasn't the best at two
Anton,
touch.
stop it.
No,
Stop it,
you
bro.
was not.
He was down there, innit?
Stop
You weren't
bro.
the- you
I was
weren't
top
the
three.
best.
I always made third.
Nah. No way.
Always made third.
Jim Kerry here, liar. Phil Brown was onto a winner there because he allowed the senior boys
It felt
To-
quite old school.
to run the dressing room. The senior boys we had in there were a good group of senior boys.
Even though we had characters, obviously, like our Ranger, who needed to be policed.
Yeah.
There's no word of a lie, he's
Yeah.
our boy. But it's the same, he needed to be policed.
He's one that he frustrates me to this day. Talking about him frustrates the life out of me. You know,
Because he'll come late to a pre-match, even though he lived 5 minutes from
it's
the
mad.
hotel, and
It's
then still
mad.
control the back four.
Exactly, on his Jack Jones.
On his own.
But this is what I'm saying, like, it's all mad. And I'm like, I was trying to show him, listen, do things properly, do this, do that, and you will be all right. Do you know what I mean? You know,
I mean, he kept you at the team, innit? Kept me at the team as well. But I was there for the banner. I was there for the lemon.
he was a player, man. He was a player. You know,
The best
he
left back
liked
of the league were Coates.
Cokes.
Woody,
Baller.
running from midfield.
Telling ya.
Cox in the 10, Timms could play anywhere, left back, midfield, left wing,
Yep. Ryan Leonard.
Ryan Leonard, engine, literally
They're the
engine.
team, you
Telling
know.
ya. He carried me on his back for a few. Telling
I
ya.
was going to say that. He's playing sweeper for me.
Yeah.
No, but
Then getting in the box and probably
yeah,
scoring.
it was a joke. No, that squad was a joke. If that squad had another year, that would piss the league.
100%. To be fair, I said to Phil Brown about keeping that squad together, but I think hierarchy wouldn't allow it to happen. Just seeing the boys smiling every day, you know, and being capped. That's the first time I've ever been a club captain,
All right, cool.
you know, ever. And the only time I was ever a club captain was at Southend. So I had a duty. I felt like I had a duty for the boys to enjoy their working environment.
I actually miss it now. Talking about it, actually.
It's
Yeah,
mad.
it's just been,
It's mad.
loads of memories and that, innit?
Playing abroad. I've played abroad. For someone that was so established, name-wise, you know, player-wise, you would think someone like you wouldn't go abroad. Obviously, most English players don't go abroad anyway. So the new times are different now. You've got the Sancho's gone away, you know, then Reece Nelson, I think, went to Germany as well, come back, stuff like that. But obviously, I went to China. I was 24, I think I was 24, 25, something like that. I got a phone call. I was on holiday in Mexico. I had
From
my
Safe?
at the time. Yeah, from Safe, yeah, Safe Ruby.
Big up, safe.
Yeah, the postman just delivers in it and then goes away.
Stuff that had happened in my career around the time left me with no choice to go and try pastures new, which was Turkey. No club in England, no Premier League clubs wanted me. In England, I wasn't ready to go down to the Championship. I'd rather go somewhere else and play in their top league. You know, and the opportunity come to go Bursaspor, who, if you didn't know, they're the only team who's won the league outside of Istanbul in Turkey. So they're a big team in Turkey. So it was like going to an Arsenal. Didn't get a chance to go to Arsenal in the Premier League, but I got a chance to go to the equivalent of Arsenal in Turkey. I'm going. You know, I remember landing in Istanbul. Next thing I was on a helicopter from Istanbul straight into the training ground. They made me feel welcome, you know, signed a deal, and like I say, I was on TV every week playing, you know, the fans were amazing, the pressure was mad, and I love pressure, so I absolutely loved it. Loved playing for Bursaspor. Again, it's another dressing room. Even though I couldn't speak the language, the banter was mad. It just had to go through an interpreter, but it was mad. It was mad. You know, I was saying to the interpreter, tell him over there, yeah? Look at his toes, bro, they're mad, like. You know what I mean? But he's having to go, like, tell him in Turkish, and then he was bending up and saying, yeah, but look at yours. You know what I mean? So it was mad, but the banter was good. Plus I had Maurice Edu, Scott Carson was there. Tunchai, who used to play for Middlesbrough, he was there, who spoke good English. and a Brazilian called Vederson, who played for Fenerbahce but then come to Bursaspor. Listen, it was mad. Good people. So, you know what's mad? You know how mad it is? We used to play on, say we played on a Saturday, we would ask the coach to train in the afternoon on a Monday, so we'd have all the Sunday and all the Monday off, yeah? And we used to go to Istanbul, stay over in Istanbul, come back on Monday morning, sleep at the training ground, ready for training. But we done that weekly. Like, it was mad, like, but there was like a good, there was a good like 7-8 of us that used to do it. Do you know what I mean? But it was like, we used to go to people's house. The thing when you play abroad, it's all like, especially in Turkey, it's always sunny. So you train, you go for barbecue. There's always, it's lovely.
No.
You know, like when what it's like when you wake up somewhere.
I might be soon.
You know when you wake up to sun, you're just always happy, innit?
Bro, I'm telling you.
It's amazing.
That must be nice.
I was in
It's
Beijing,
mad.
so it was sunny. People look at China, they don't know what the weather's like. In Beijing, bro, it's sunny, like for the majority of the season.
But then I went to Antalya,
Right.
which is like it's even hotter. It's down the south,
Right.
near Cyprus, yeah.
Okay.
And it's like, I'm talking like, it's that hot. We had to train at night.
Right.
Couldn't train in the daytime because it was too hot. We had to train at night. I was there with Milan Baros, and my man's the mad drinker.
Right.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Like, we used to, on a Sunday, we used to go to this meat place, right, and stay in this steak place all day, watch the English games and that, and just drink.
Yeah.
This fella would order a beer and a vodka. And I'm like, what? When I first turned up, when I first turned up, like, he's like, yeah, well, I've ordered you a beer and a vodka. A beer and a vodka? He said, yeah, the vodka's the chaser. I said, pardon? I said, nah, man. So we was doing that regular. So, but what we would do, when my family weren't there, because like this was the first year of my son's life.
Right.
He spent the first year of his life in Turkey, in Antalya. When he wasn't there, like I had all day to myself.
Of course, yeah.
So I was going to the beach.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's unlike me. You're getting the Reddit bows up, bro. Keeping them in the sand though, but I was like, I was at the beach all day, having one or two, and then going training. It was mad. It was actually mad. Like, it was surreal. Things happen over there. Politics happen over there. The living was unbelievable. Just the football, the politics within the football club made me have to come back. Yeah, and then when I come back to England, sleep out of sight, out of mind. Again, no Premier League club wanted to touch me because of circumstances. End up signing for Reading.
It's difficult that because when I came back. I'm normally 92 kg. I come back 105.
Yeah, it's mad.
I didn't feel it.
Yeah, you don't realise. I ballooned up.
Yeah.
I ballooned up
I came
because
back 105.
you know what it is. The
She's
intent.
buzzing. She went, you look all right.
The intensity is so different. You don't shed pounds. You don't shed them.
No.
Like, it's mad. The intensity. It's like above a jog. Yeah, it's like boom, boom. Whereas over here, it's boom, 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 boom. So you have to be mad fit over here.
Yeah.
Over there, you can get away. It's just a techie game.
Techie.
You can get away with just being techie. Do you know what I mean? Which I was. So it was just like, I just put on the mad pounds. Do you know what I mean? Man was full in the face and that. Man had a little Ravanelli. And it was just mad. And when I came back, and then when I came back, it was just like, you know what? I got to get rid of this. I got to start working hard.
When you was 23 years old, you got to move to Sunderland. Talk to us about the mindset of a young lad getting a big move like that.
It was the gaffer that got you.
Roy Keane. Roy Keane bought me for £8 million, man. And I look at it, £8 million all them years ago. What would I be now?
That's minimum 28, isn't it? That's 38.
Nah, it's more than that now.
It's mad.
8 million is more than that now.
£8 million, what's that? 10 years ago.
It's longer than 10 years ago.
Longer than 10. It's
Longer than
45.
It's longer than 10.
Yeah. All right, cool. Say 15 years ago.
Something
That's
like
a
that.
lot of money, mate. Now.
Now
That's
it's
a
about
lot of
40
money,
mil.
man.
That's what I'm saying,
You're
bro.
a 40 mil player.
Well, no, but yeah, it's like I didn't want to leave West Ham. you know. But the club were putting pressure on me. They were playing on my heartstrings. I don't want to go, and they was going to me, listen, you've got to go, because if you don't go, the club's in trouble. We need the money. The club's in trouble. So I was like, do I stay and the club struggles in terms of financials, or do I go and try and help them? And I was like, no, well, they was going to me, well, Roy Keane's up there, it'll be good for you. Well, bring Roy Keane here and let him be good for me here then, because I'm not leaving. You know? But 2 weeks before that, Alan Kirbyshire, who was the manager at the time, had pulled me and Martin Noble into his office and said, I want to build a team around you and Martin Noble for the future and stuff. And then 2 weeks later, I was moving. And he didn't know about it. So he knew there was interest. So the bid come in.
What's that like as a player? Like hearing you got a bid coming for you 8 million at the time.
There's a lot of money at the time. Do you know, I didn't think about the price tag.
No?
I didn't think about the price tag at all.
Think about getting 10% of that?
No, I didn't think about, you know me, money don't motivate me.
Right.
I'm going to have to leave London.
That's what I was thinking.
stuff.
What about your family? Leaving from London, going all the way to up north as well, you know what I mean?
But watching Rio do it was like, done well for him. Imagine this, Roy Keane saying to you, how are you not playing for England? How are you not playing? I will get you playing for England. Yeah, and yeah, but not just that. Even like he said to me, listen, okay, outside of the ones who do play for England, the top defenders in this league, the Rios, Carragher's, the JT, the Leddy Kings. He said there's now a level below them, which is the Julian Lescott's.
Thank you.
You know, the Cahills, the Dawsons, who I played with them for England, but I always played ahead of them for England on 21s. He said there's that tier there. Richard Duns, he went, brother, he said, as far as I'm concerned, you're number one out of them, you're the next one to go. He's telling me all this, I was like, you know what? And he's going, I can turn you into that player. Like, you know what? Where do I sign, innit?
No, for real.
You know? And he was, not just that, he was telling me about, giving me some banter and that. Like, you wouldn't think Roy Keane got banter. He was like telling me stories and stuff. Like, you know what? I need to be around this guy. This guy's gonna elevate me. He's gonna take me to the next level.
Roy Keane, he's got that rap like for someone that's hard man, stiff. Do you know what I mean?
He is. Don't get me wrong. He is. You know.
The stories I've heard.
But you know what? He's fair. But just because he signed me, he didn't treat me different to anyone else.
No.
You know, if I weren't playing well, he rollicked me. You know, and I like that about him. You know, I like the fact that he didn't have no favourites.
He was fair.
He was fair with it. You know, some of his delivery might have been wrong at times, but I was growing up in a household where there were stern words, innit? So I liked that. Not everyone can deal with it, but I liked it. And I remember my first game, like, we were playing at home in the cup to Northampton, and we was losing 2-0 at half time, and like, man straight legged the tactic board, straight legged it, boom. Man was saying like, listen, I don't want to see you. You said you're a bag of nerves to me. Like, what are you doing? You're a bag of. I've bought you to be like a top player here. You're a bag of nerves, and I was like, rah. But it put me in good stead. Do you know what I mean? And I just like the fact that he was honest and he was straight talking. It put me, it put me in a good really stead. You know, John stead. It gave me that. It made me feel like a kid again, where you know you respect your dad and you have that slight bit of fear factor. And that fear factor always steered you well.
I've played with you. I'm one of the best players probably, but he's terrible. He's probably down there. Who's the best player you played with?
The best player I played with, Carlos Tevez, man. He was a joke. The worst trainer I've trained with is him, to be fair. He
not Frank, no?
Nah.
No, to be fair, I worked hard in training. I moaned a lot as well.
Yeah, the ball weren't your friend at times.
I won't lie to you, the ball didn't lie.
Literally didn't lie. Say that, say that. The ball don't lie. The ball don't lie.
Bad man. But he was like one of us. My man built a mansion in the heart of the ghetto in Buenos Aires, but that's where he's comfortable. You know, like he was one of us. But he was a joke to play with. Always available, always wanted the ball. Always wanted the ball. You know what I mean? And was just like, you know, when he first come, I just couldn't wait to show him how good I was as a player. You know?
I was like training with him every day and that, like, trainer playing against him, you were saying?
In training, to be fair, he was never bothered in training.
Yeah.
The only time he come alive in training was in a shooting drill. But then when game time come, he's the hardest worker.
Yeah.
He's the only player that I've seen in my career who can switch it on and off.
Yeah.
He's the only player, you know?
Best manager you've had?
Best manager. This is an hard one.
For you?
For me,
Yeah.
Alan Pardew.
Not just coaching, just for you.
For me, personally, Alan Pardew. Best manager.
Did he give you your debut as well?
No, I didn't give my debut. Glenn Roeder did. But when I had Alan Pardew at West Ham,
Yeah.
I got him at the right time
Right.
for my age.
Yeah.
I was young, 19 years old I was, and he treated me like an adult, which is what I needed,
Yeah.
you know? And
Because obviously you were in Funky Buddha.
yeah, like, he knew what I was doing. He knew I was at.
Yeah.
But as long as you say to it, as long as it don't affect your football,
Yeah.
cool. The minute it starts affecting your football, it's going to affect your pocket because I'm going to hit you in your pocket.
Yeah. That's
You know, so he treated me like an adult.
Yeah.
You know, and I say, he's a manager that I feel personally should have been one of the top ones because he had everything.
Where is he now? He's in Holland,
He's in
no?
Holland.
Yeah. He's in Holland.
You know,
Alan, he's still available, son.
Who's the best player you played against?
Toughest player,
Toughest,
player
yeah.
you played against.
Nicholas Anelka. He had everything.
Yeah, right foot, left foot.
He could find the pass if he needed to. You know, he's good in the air. He could go in behind, he could come short. He had you thinking all the time. You know, and like, he was just a menace, bruv.
I was lucky enough to train. I trained with him a couple of times when I was a youth player at Chelsea, and he was a joke, bro.
He's like
He could
mad.
play in the 10, he could play the striker, he could play out wide, and he was older. You played him when he was younger. He was like, reaching 30, 31, whatever. He was at Chelsea. He was playing with Drogba up front. Bro, he was a joke.
Listen, the lamb chops that my man used to hand out, boom. Like, you know it's coming, but you like sometimes you couldn't do nothing about it. You know, there's loads, man. Suarez, Aguero, Torres at Liverpool was a joke. You know, you know. So it's like there was loads. I was in an era where every week I played against a good striker. I played against a top striker. You know, that's why today, when you talk about the top defenders in the league, yeah, Van Dijk, unbelievable. He's a joke. But he's not playing against a top striker every week.
I said there's a lot more attacking players that played free, so you didn't know what they were doing. It's more of a guessing game, whereas now it's more of a numbers game.
Yeah.
So players aren't playing as free as possible, just trying to get a goal.
Yeah.
Obviously that's come from Messi and Ronaldo hitting the standard. Now you got people like Mane and Salah, wingers, are scoring 30 goals a year. Raheem now's going to score
it's
30
mad.
goals a year. Even though they're top players, unbelievable players, but back then you had, I remember I was in the youth team playing reserve football, I had Charisma come down.
Bad man.
Free as a bird, bro. Doing
Bad man.
everything just to make you feel like, yeah, that's why I love football. Do you know what I'm saying?
Bad man. Like, you look at the calibre of, telling you, the names that, the era that I grew up in, playing in the Premier League, the names. I'm just a boy from Peckham and I'm standing in the tunnel next to Luis Suarez, Aguero, Ruud van Nistelrooy, Wayne Rooney. Do you know what I mean? Robin van Pizzle, Thierry Henry.
All right. Toughest manager to have and work with for you, your experience?
Steve Bruce. Steve Bruce was the toughest manager I've had in terms of our personal relationship. We didn't really get on, if truth be told, if I'm being really honest. But what his reasons for that were, I still don't know today. I've asked him. I asked him when I was there and I never got a straight answer about it. But yeah, I'm not saying he wasn't a good manager, he was a good manager, but I felt like he had something personal against me that wasn't to do with football. And at times he made it tough for me. He never really let me get a run of the games in the team. You know, I'd play maybe 2 or 3 games and then he'd pull me out. Even if I was playing well, I'd be on the bench. And it's like, what have I got to do to play 10?
Really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, man.
It's all love, bro.
It's been a
Cool,
pleasure,
man.
man. Thank you, man. Nice to see you,
Like a
man.
big brother
You
to
too,
me.
Steve.
This is The Ball Don't Lie, another edition with a special guest like Anton. Really appreciate it with my co-host Theo Robinson. Peace.
Bless.